All right, guys, family pets. We had a few of those. So this is our first family pet. This is Toby. He came to live with us when Lori was just an infant. And our next one was Brandy. And Brandy had a friend named Pebbles who Karen used to dress Pebbles up and bounce her all over the floor with her. But I don't have a picture of Pebbles. But we do have Jackie and Bear. You all remember Jackie and Bear. And then there's Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was Daddy's shadow. Everywhere he went, Tinkerbell followed. And then we have Bumper and Coco. They were a pair. Bumper was the one that literally bumped into one thing after another, up and down the Christmas tree, knocked it over a few times. You know, as I'm looking at this picture, in the back is the family quilt from the Campbell family. I had forgotten to even mention that. And you see the names on there. Margaret Campbell, I believe, signed that. Each one of those squares is signed by a member of the Campbell family. That's a family and heirloom. We still have that, and it looks pretty much like you see it there. And then we have Rascal. Do you remember Rascal? He was born on your bed, Gary, in the middle of the night. And Rascal is the one that used to go back home again to Mountain Avenue, from Mountain Avenue to Elbron Avenue. Did that twice till he finally got with the program and stayed up on Mountain Avenue. And then we have Kelly and Jabby, the first two of my animal family horses. Kelly is the little rascal that used to just terrorize all the neighborhood kids when they'd get on his back. And Jabby was my first horse that I used to ride down to the park. And then we have Caleb and Blessing doing dog therapy down here in Georgia. And there's Nancy under the umbrella. And Jacob sitting on the bale of hay. Papa made that wagon. And we went into the Sonoya Memorial Day Parade.
Go back to that other picture. I looked in the back of that photo when I was scanning the photos, and it was 2009 that photo was taken.
Okay, 2009. Caleb and Blessing. Bright and beautiful therapy dogs. So I did this dog therapy with Caleb for almost 10 years, and Blessing about 8 of those 10 years. And then we have Caleb in the backyard. We found Caleb as a little puppy, and no one ever claimed him, so he became Daddy's next shadow. He was a wonderful dog. Oh, and guess who that is? Cecil. He was Lori's mascot at Collector's Corner. And then one day, somebody shot him with an arrow, and he was recouped. The arrow was removed, and he survived with only a limp. So he still lives with us, and he still cock-a-doodle-doos every morning, bright and early. And there we have Riley. Riley just died not long ago. And he was, Daddy traded Riley for a fish dinner. Renza had Riley, and they didn't want him anymore because he wasn't very nice to their rest of their cats. And then we have Mary Margaret. Mary Margaret is still hanging in there. She's about 14 years old now.
And how did she get into the top of the house?
Oh, how she gets. She climbs, jumps from the railing in the front of the house onto the front roof, walks across the roof, jumps from that roof in the back of the house now onto the back deck. And then she sits at the kitchen door waiting for somebody to let her in. Yep, that's Mary Margaret. She's always been quirky. And then we have my 2 little goats. I call them my outside dogs. They're just very little and small and young at this point. Today, they're quite much bigger than this. And there we have Pitter and Patter. They were the 2 that we actually came down here with. And they lived to be about 11 years old. When Kazar died, Pitter died shortly thereafter. Patter had died earlier. And now we have today's puppy, Jenna. And she also came from Lori. Somebody had actually brought her to Lori thinking she belonged to Lori with her sister Molly. But Molly disappeared, and Jenna came to live with us. And there we have Caleb doing the dog therapy. this, I believe, might have been in Josh and Jess's preschool. And there we have Nancy. This is the day that before that she left to move down here to Wisconsin. And so Nancy is my friend who is doing this legacy for us.
I'm one of her favorite pets.
Amen.